It's Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. 603-283-6160. That's the call-in line. You can call in and talk about anything you want. 603-283-6160. And with you in the studio tonight, it's Aria.
And Conan.
And the Reverend Captain Kickass is here.
And you have something you'd like to share with us.
I do, actually. Bitcoin.com is the best source for learning about cryptocurrency. You can go there now and click on Get Started right at the top of the page. And once you do that, you'll find all sorts of valuable information neatly organized to suit your needs. There's no longer any excuse for ignoring this important world-changing information. If you're already a knowledgeable crypto user, you can check out news.bitcoin.com and get the latest headlines of all the news that's relevant to you. Bitcoin.com is your source for everything crypto, like getting a wallet, mining, trading, and all the latest cryptocurrency news, all on a very slick and easy-to-use website. Please visit bitcoin.com.
Thank you so much. So, other things besides the Chauvin trial are happening in the world today.
They are.
Do either of you have any information about any of that? Because, like I said, I mean, even if I was able to get show prep beyond the few specific websites I was allowed to use, I've been a little swamped lately and haven't looked in the news to see even what is happening.
You know, the alternatives to YouTube are starting to show up. Outlets like our NPR here in New Hampshire is just wrote an article covering one of YouTube's competitors called Odyssey.
Right now, Odyssey, as I understand it, is Library or was Library, LBRY. And now, for whatever reason, they're changing their name or something? Is that? I'm
actually not sure of the connection. I'm familiar with both. I've been to both sites.
Perhaps the article.
Maybe the article will. But so I'll just, of course, it starts with a nice little opening discussing Savannah Hernandez, who was kicked off of Twitter, I believe, when she did get for. Let's see why she was kicked off, and maybe this will. Make a lot of sense to everybody. She was talking about the stolen election, which is a concept. It's an idea. Why can't you talk about the idea that, the left have been talking about how Putin stole the election back in 2016. Why can't you talk about the powers that be messing around with the 2020 election? But no, a lot of people were removed from Twitter, YouTube, Facebook for even voicing that concern. And of course, there's the other big one, the one that we're suffering through right now, and that is the COVID-19.
Oh, the medical misinformation.
So for one of the reasons,
like whatever that is, right? Like, okay, so if you have a cough and I say, hey, maybe you should take some elderberry syrup, is that medical misinformation?
Exactly. And why haven't any of the officials, why hasn't Fauci talked about vitamin D or talking about even vitamin C or any of the, or just our sunshine?
Or how to just improve your immune system in general.
Yeah. So, I mean, they just got us kicked off again. Another 14-day ban YouTube. So that's how that is. Yeah. Anyway, she got back on and she convinced her subscribers, let's go somewhere else. Somewhere called Odyssey.
I mean, PewDiePie did that as well. He left YouTube and went exclusively to DLive, at least for his live streams, and was relatively successful. So, I mean, these things have already existed. There's, DLive, Twitch. There are alternatives to YouTube already. Mm-hmm. I don't know of the relationship between Odyssey and Library, but I know Library is currently being targeted by the SEC because the government's sort of taken this multi-pronged approach at blockchain and cryptocurrency at the moment. I mean, the Crypto 6, yes, we were attacked. But we're not the only ones. They're also coming after Library and Ripple. It's hard to care about
because of their tokens.
Yes.
Exactly. So Odyssey, which is owned by Library, a Manchester-based tech company, launched last December. On first glance, it looks like any other video hosting website, but it is taking a decidedly different approach to content moderation. No censorship, no deplatforming, no matter what the users say. Library, quote, Library is the future of digital content and how we share it and how we publish it, Jeremy Kaufman, Library's founder, told a web host during an interview published in January. And have any of you met Mr. Kaufman?
I've not met him in person.
Because he's just right across the river. He's right over there.
Yeah, he lives in Manchester.
Mm-hmm. The website does have some community guidelines in place, including no threats of violence, no pornography, and no copyright infringement. But If the website is a giant swimming pool, library is pledging to not filter the water. Quote, I am not going to deny that if you want to use library in a Wild West kind of way, that's possible, said Kaufman. But I'd actually say that our internet is not to be edgy or to be putting provocative things in people's faces. Our goal is to give people choices. And excuse me, people, I'm reading this off my phone because my laptop has been updating for the past 2 damn hours. Sorry about that. Recently, Kaufman tweeted about walking through an airport while defying mask rules. To some extent, Odyssey's content has the same vibe. Its
Okay,
most
so
viewed
Odyssey
video
is
of all.
separate from library.
It's owned by Library. I just pulled up a blog post.
Is Odyssey their live streaming service?
So yes, it says,
Okay.
Say hi to Odyssey, our new video sharing platform. Odyssey works similarly to Library.tv, but with a more streamlined experience and is simpler to use and understand. It's also geared towards helping you discover fresh channels and content more easily. Log into Odyssey with your Library.tv details. Everything you've had on Library.tv will be waiting for you on Odyssey. So it's specifically video streaming.
So he made the analogy that, Odyssey is like walking through an airport without a mask, which I kind of like that analogy. Its most viewed video of all time, according to third-party tracking site, is a lecture about the purported dangers of the vaccine, which you're not going to find on YouTube. With more than 10 million videos already uploaded, there is plenty of everything on Odyssey, from guitar lessons and video gaming to cooking shows. But it is also hosting plenty of user-made videos about Pizzagate, QAnon, false allegations claiming a stolen election, and the big H, Holocaust denials. Online extremism, experts say Odyssey hands-off approach poses a risk, specifically from the far right, in spreading of bigotry, anti-Semitism, and undermining faith and democracy. I am loving everything I'm hearing so far.
It sounds really good to me, yes.
Well, I'm not a fan of anti-Semitism and all of that, but I do know that you can't silence these people by deplatforming them.
No, you just make them. You make them stronger.
You
I mean,
radicalize them.
And most importantly, you don't. You can't have a conversation with them about why they're wrong. If you cancel somebody, you say you can't talk about this because it's the law or because you're not going to be allowed to. All I see is red flags. Like, wait. Why can't he talk about that?
The reason I am such a free speech proponent isn't necessarily because I like to cuss and things like that. I can't do that on the radio. But here we sit on a radio program where we invite everybody to call in, no matter who you are, whatever you're from, whatever you want to talk about. The reason I love free speech is because it allows me to keep my eye on who I think the a-holes are.
Exactly. And, for example, the last segment, Scott the Bigot called in. How can we ever fix Scott? He probably can't be fixed.
I think
I
think he can be fixed. I mean,
but how can we have that? How can we fix him if we don't have we can't conversate with him?
Well, you can't even try. You're right. You can't even try if the conversation is just shut down. All of that stuff goes super underground as soon as it is censored.
Yeah, of course. But keep in mind, this is coming from NPR, very strongly left-leaning. They're at one head of the Hydra, and so we know where this is going. Quote, we see a lot of problematic YouTubers who espouse extreme right ideas, who use Odyssey as a backup channel in the fear that at any point they will be banned from YouTube, said Evane Ledig, a researcher based at the University of Oslo. And I know a lot of YouTubers that I watch on YouTube, which I'm not watching anymore, by the way. I'm putting my foot down.
I mean,
that's like their opening. Yeah. It's like, hey, make sure you go to Odyssey, make sure you go to Library, because YouTube's taking us down.
Among those is Free Talk Live.
Correct.
It's worth pointing out. I mean, we are one of those shows that are moving to other platforms out of fear that YouTube is going to shut us down because they are about to shut us down.
Because they have.
603-283-6160. What do you think about censorship? This is Free Talk Live.
Never, ever send a follow-up email asking, "Did you get my email?"